Hey guys, it's Jenna here. Welcome back to my channel. So today this video is a tad late because it is already December 5th, but I figured that I should probably go into my November wrap up and December TBR. So unfortunately, I did not get that much reading done in November due to a crazy work schedule and crazy plans. Lots of stuff happened in November, so it was a little bit crazy, and I only was able to get 4 books read, and all of them happened during a readathon. So I'm kind of sad about that, but there's not much I can do about it now except for hope that December is better. So first I'm going to show you the 4 books that I read in November, which you probably already know them if you watch my readathon and my vlogs. So the first one is Cruel Prince by Holly Black. This was a reread, and this is the first book of the Folk of Air series, I believe it is. And this is basically about a girl named Jude who gets taken to the fairy realm along with her sisters after her parents are murdered by her sister's fae father. And she wants to earn a place in this world by becoming a knight. And the only way to do that is to get wrapped up in this realm's politics, and things go down. So I gave this reread a 5 out of 5 stars. I really enjoyed it. And yes. And then I read Find Me by Tahara Mafi, which includes the novella Shadow Me and Reveal Me. So I think these are the novellas there's a novella for After Restore Me and After Defy Me. And yeah, these are both by Kenji's point of view, and I really enjoyed seeing his point of view. Honestly, I didn't like Shadow Me as much as Reveal Me just because it felt like the same thing that happened at the end of Restore Me, but just from Kenji's point of view. I didn't really feel like we gained any new information. I mean, I still liked it, but it just wasn't as impressive as Reveal Me, which I thought was really great because you got to see Kenji in a whole new light. You got to see him, drop his facade of the jokester and into someone who cares and is upset, and he just really drops his character and shows you that he's a person too, because people often forget that when he's, just the guy who makes everyone laugh. So I'm pretty sure, well, hello, Savannah. Somebody wanted to make a cameo. Hey. Go play, sweets. So I'm pretty sure I gave both of those novellas, I think I gave Shadow Me either 4 or 4.5 stars, and I gave Reveal Me a 4.5 stars. I just really didn't like the ending because it ended on an abrupt cliffhanger. And it made me really mad. So I think this averaged out to about a 4.5 star read. Yes. I'm glad that I'm finally getting around to reading novellas now. Next, I read a poetry collection, and that was Abandoned Breaths by Alpha Holden, or just Alpha. And I don't know which collection this is. It might be her 4th one, but I'm not 100% sure. But I did enjoy this, and I think I either gave it a 4.5 or a 5 star. I should probably check that. Yes, I gave that a 4.5 out of 5 stars. And then finally, okay, I should probably talk about that one, right? So I really enjoyed her writing style. I loved the poetry, and the only thing that I think knocked it down a half a star was the fact that I couldn't relate to as many of them as I would have liked. But I still thought it was beautiful, and I can't wait to read more of her works. Then the final book I read in November was Wilder Girls by Rory Power. I finally finished this book, and basically this is about an all-girl school that gets trapped on this island, and they get plagued with this disease called, oh god, the tox. Yeah, that's what it's called. So each girl has their individual flare-up, which can range from losing an eye to growing different bones to all these different things, and it comes at different times, and it affects everyone differently. And they're stuck on this island things are different. They're trapped on this island, and it was described as Stranger Things meets gender swapped version of Lord of the Flies. And I thought this was super interesting. I gave it 4 to 5 stars. But let me just say, the ending made me very mad. And if we don't get a sequel to this, I'm going to be mad, because the way the story was ended, it was completely left open for a sequel. So if we don't know what happens next, I'm going to knock this down another star, because if that's the end of the story, I feel like it wasn't resolved enough. But my rating stands as it is right now, because if this gets a sequel, then I like the ending. But if it does not, I'm going to knock it down, because it was not resolved enough just to be a standalone. So, yes. Savannah's feeling really neglected right now, apparently. She doesn't like when I'm filming and not paying attention to her. Can I film my video? Thank you. Should we get into my December TBR now? You're okay. So next, I have 3 books in December that I need to finish first before I go into my actual December TBR. So the first one I would like to finish, but if it starts getting slow for me and putting me in a slump, I'm not going to bother with it. And that is The Woman in Cabin 10 by Ruth Ware. I am on chapter 9, page 77 of this. And all I know about this so far is it is about a girl named Lauren Lowe, I think, who her house gets burglarized, and then she goes on this cruise ship for like a job opportunity or whatever. And I think she witnesses a murder or a passenger get thrown off board, but nobody believes her because this girl's like a stowaway or something. That's all I know about this book. It's kind of slow where I'm at. I was really captured in it in the beginning because of like the burglary. But now that she's on the cruise ship, I'm getting really bored because it's just like so slow. So, yes. Next, I have actually already finished this book. It was on my to be finished list. But Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone by J.K. Rowling. I always feel a pull to this series when it gets colder. So we've been watching all the movies. I started rereading the books. This is like my 6th time reading this. I absolutely loved it. You all know what Harry Potter's about. I'm not even going to try to explain it, but I reread this. Loved it. I read the audiobook. Gave it 5 out of 5 stars. So that one's off my to finish list. And then my last to be finished is A Court of Wings and Ruin by Sarah J. Maas. This was supposed to be our November pick for my Massathon, which I am running so behind on, guys. I'm so sorry. Work has been so chaotic, and along with that, Melissa's laptop was malfunctioning, and we just have not had time to get together for a live show, and I'm really sorry about that. I hope I can get together with Melissa for a end of the year final wrap up of this series, because I do feel really bad that we haven't had a live show since God knows when. And in this, I am on chapter 15, page 145. I love this series. I love this world. I don't even know I wasn't able to finish it in November. So, now that those are out of the way, I have a list of 10 books for December that are on my radar or that I would like to finish. Granted how my November TBR went, I'm a little bit nervous because December is going to be a very busy month for me. I have birthday parties up the wazoo, and then there's Christmas, work. So I am a little bit apprehensive. I have Jake's birthday, and then I have my dad's birthday, and Lindsay's birthday, and Skylar's birthday. And then I have Christmas. And between all that, I am working 40 hours a week. So, I can't really set my expectations very high for myself in December. I would really like to get to all of these, but again, it's not something I can realistically promise myself that I can do. And I just have to accept that. Like, now that I'm working, I can't read the way that I want to or that I am used to doing. So, with that whole spiel out of the way, let me get into my December TBR. So, when I realized that I wanted to put this book on my TBR, it kind of took me off guard because I haven't really thought about actually picking this book up. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to put this book on my TBR. And I'm like, wait, I am? Huh? And that is Strange the Dreamer by Laini Taylor. This is a very well-loved booktube book. And I honestly have no clue what this is about. Something about Laszlo Strange and this mythic lost city of Weep. And yeah, I have no clue, but everybody seems to love this series, and I would really like to pick this up, maybe even on audio if that's something that I can do, because I think this book will go a lot quicker on audio, obviously, because it's a big book. It's like 500 and something pages. It's like 530 pages, so yes, this one is on my TBR for December. And then in November, you may have remembered that I wanted to read Hunting Prince Dracula and Escaping from Houdini in order to get to Capturing the Devil. However, I decided that that was a little bit unrealistic for me as I was trying to read Hunting Prince Dracula, and it was putting me in a slump because I did not want to read those two books. I just wanted to read Capturing the Devil. So I decided to scrap it. I'm like, I think I know enough about... I think I retained enough information. So I'm just going to go right into Capturing the Devil by Carrie Maniscalco. Finally, I can read this book, and I'm so excited. This is the fourth and final book in the Stalking Jack the Ripper series. And I literally could not be more excited for this book. Sorry, I don't even know why my throat was tickling so much this video. But basically, if you don't know what the Stalking Jack the Ripper series is about, it is about a girl named Audrey Wadsworth set in the 1800s, and she is practicing forensic science with her uncle and his handsome forensic science student, Thomas Cresswell. So obviously, in the 1800s, it is pretty frowned upon for a woman to do a man's job, especially something as gruesome as forensic science. So she's kind of just beating all the stereotypes and being a badass, and she's getting wrapped up in a little romance in the middle of it. So I cannot wait to read this conclusion. I absolutely love this series, and I can't wait to get to this one and see what the final book has in store for us. Next, I have a book that I am quite nervous to pick up, honestly. I have heard a lot of mixed reviews about it. Some people absolutely love it and rave about it. Some people really don't like it, and they're very passionate about their dislike for it. And then some people really don't know how to feel about it. And honestly, right now I'm in that boat where I don't really know how to feel about it. It's a beautiful book. It's very intimidating, but I am very intrigued by it. And honestly, I just don't know how I'm going to feel about it. And that is Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. I definitely want to pick this up. So all I know about this is that it is about a girl named Alex who I think she gets to attend Yale. And she's trying to discover their secret societies. So there's something supernatural about this book. And yeah, like I said, it's touch and go for a lot of people. Some people absolutely love it. Some people can't stand it. I'm eager to see what my stance on it is. So yes, I am very intimidated by this book, though. I'm not even going to lie. It's just pretty daunting. Like, so serious compared to her other books. Next, I have two books. So I have Wicked King by Holly Black. This is book 2 in the Folk of Air series. I tried to read this once upon a time. My bookmark's still in it. I got to page 30, and I had to stop because I realized that it had been so long since I read Cruel Prince that I could not remember anything. I couldn't remember any of the characters. I couldn't remember what happened. And whenever I tried to look up some of the characters, I got spoilers. So, yes, I had to go ahead and reread Cruel Prince before I could get to Wicked King. And now I really want to get to this so I can get to Queen of Nothing by Holly Black. And this is the third and final book in the Folk of Air trilogy. And I could not be more excited to have this book in my hands. These two together just look at this. They are beautiful. Oh my god. They're so gorgeous. I don't have a white cover of Cruel Prince yet. I just have my Barnes & Noble exclusive edition. But listen, this book is gorgeous, and I'm so excited to get to this and see how the series wrapped up. This is another one. Some people really love how it ended. Some people hate it because it's so short. And I literally have no idea what could possibly happen in this book because I haven't read Wicked King, so I don't even know what happens in Wicked King. Actually, I do. I got spoilers, but we love that. So those two are on my radar and TBR for December, followed by Five Dark Fates by Kendra Blake. Again, this is the fourth and final book in the Three Dark Crowns or Queens of Fenburn series, and I'm really sad about it. So many of my favorite series are ending this year. What the hell? Ugh. This series ended. Cruel Prince series ended. Stalking Jack the Ripper ended. Like, what is happening? Five Dark Fates. Yes, this is the final book in the Queens of Fenburn series. And if you don't know what Three Dark Crowns is about, it is about triplet sisters raised on this island of Fenburn. And one of them each is blessed with a different power. There's a poisoner, a naturalist, and an elemental. And each sister gets their own power. And when they are a certain age, they get separated and they are raised on their, different respective powerful family islands or whatever. And when they turn 16, they are supposed to fight to the death to determine who's the most powerful queen to rule over Fenburn. And I will admit the first book was really slow. The ending was really great though. And then One Dark Throne was great. And Two Dark Reigns was great. So I am really eager to get into this once and for all and see how this wraps up. I have not heard many reviews about this. I haven't heard any reviews about this actually. So I'm kind of nervous, but I'm really excited to see how it wraps up. Next, I have another very popular booktube book this year, and that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kemmerer. This is a Beauty and the Beast retelling where I believe that Beauty has cerebral palsy. I think. Yes, she has cerebral palsy. And she tries to save a stranger on the streets of Washington, D.C., and she gets pulled into trying to break the curse of, the beast. So, very excited to get into this. It's been a while. Just kidding. I was going to say it's been a while since I read a Beauty and the Beast retelling, but then there's Akatar. So, yes. I'm excited to see what all the hype is about. Originally, I didn't have any pull towards the series, and then more and more people that I trust kept reading it, and I'm like, alright, whatever. I'm just going to buy it. Whatever. I don't even care. I'm going to read it. Done and done. Plus, I don't know why. It just kind of gives me wintry vibes. So, I put it on my TBR. Next is a book I have been highly anticipating since it was announced that she was even making this sort of book. Vampires? Are you kidding me? I'm ready. And you probably already know what the book is. The Beautiful by Renee Attier. And yes, all I know about this is that it is a vampire book set in 1872 New Orleans. And Vampires, New Orleans, 1872. Okay, so here's my fear. I loved the Wrath of the Dawn duology. I adore it. It's like one of my favorites. I DNF'd Flame in the Mist in that duology. I think it's duology. I'm not actually sure. I DNF'd that. I could not get through it. I didn't like that style. I didn't like the story compared to the Wrath of the Dawn. So this book will really determine how I feel about Renee Audier's writing. I'm nervous because I literally adored The Wrath of the Dawn with every ounce of my being. Couldn't even get 100 pages into Flame in the Mist, so I'm like, I'm scared. So, very highly anticipating that. I have heard great reviews about that though, so that's why I'm nervous, but I'm hopeful. Next book, I have Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. This is a book I'm meant to read, I think in either October or November, probably both. And the only thing I knew, this is another one that's been going viral on BookTube. And again, the only thing I know about this is that it's about a witch and a witch hunter bound in holy matrimony. And if that doesn't interest you, I don't know what is, but I'm intrigued. I've heard blooming reviews about this. Witty Novels loved it. A lot of people have loved this. So I want to read this. It's a chunky book, but I want to read it. And finally, comes to my last book. I was supposed to, this is my December pick for my Massathon, and it is A Court of Frost and Starlight by Sarah J. Maas. This is the last book for my Massathon. I kind of thought that she would have released the next the last Alcatraz book by now, but the date got pushed back. So this is the last book we're going to be reading from my Massathon. I cannot believe it's been a year in the making, guys. And granted, I have been a really bad host because half the time I don't even do live shows. And, you know, YouTube kind of threw me a curveball with not being able to do live shows if you don't have a certain amount of subscribers. So, yeah. So this is the last book of my Massathon. And also, this is the last book on my TBR for December. I do have some poetry collections that I have not read yet, but I'm not going to get into those. I guess it's kind of just whatever I'm feeling, whatever I want to read. So yeah, that was my December TBR along with my November wrap up. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time for a new video. Please leave me a comment down below and let me know if you have read any of these and enjoyed them, or if you plan to read them. Also, don't forget, tell your friends about my channel. If I reach 600 subscribers by the end of this year, I will be doing a giveaway. So keep that in mind. And yes, thank you all for watching. I really appreciate your support. And I will see you next time for the new video.